We're back.
Okay, can we start and then everyone start talking?
No, we're talking. So we haven't done this for a month.
Yeah, where did we leave off last time?
Me and Christian were talking about it. We left off um, right when they tried to assassinate Blackthorn
What? When did that happen?
in book one at page 250. The ninja guy came in at night and snuck through, and then everybody was really ashamed that happened.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do we remember what our predictions were for when that happened?
I don't remember exactly. The thing that I thought was going to happen is I thought this was going to be like any other young adult novel, and somebody was going to train up Blackthorn, and he was going to become some badass samurai and save everybody. But I would say I got like 15% of my prediction correct. Um, Christian and I were thinking we're just going to really speed run the rest of that book, the last 400 pages, which was basically that after the assassination, they realize they need to get the fuck out of there, and Toranaga dresses up as a woman and leaves in a palanquin so he can get out, and nobody knows that it's him. And then they almost get caught, but Blackthorn like acts like a fucking mentalist and distracts the guards and the other daimyo that was trying to stop him, Ishido.
Are you reading off of something?
No.
Oh shit! You just have this memorized?
Mm-hmm. And then,
Okay.
um,
Then they
they
go to the port.
yeah, they're at the port. They're trying to leave. There's like soldiers from Ishido that are trying to basically stop Toranaga's escape. And then Blackthorn has to do some crazy shit on the ship and like dodge Rodriguez and his big ass Portuguese ship. But they escape, and Blackthorn basically saves everybody with his
Oh
swag,
yeah,
his white boy
and
swag.
Marco has to give the signal.
Mm-hmm.
And so Tornaga's like, Mariko, you got to hit a dab, and that's the signal.
Yeah, she
She's
dabbed,
like,
and then they all went. Um, but yeah, basically, then when they're on the water, I think it's on the water, but they're going back to Anjiro, and
mhm.
Toranaga basically makes him like his guy. Like, you're basically a samurai now. He says you're Hatamoto. You get all these special privileges. You get a house. You get maids. You get all this shit, and you get swords too. You get to have swords, and so Anjin now has a big ass sword and a little stabbing sword, little knife thing. And he gets to wear them at all times. He's got kimonos and shit. And
Yeah.
part of him being the Hatamoto is that like they basically say he's gonna live in Anjiro, but they have to teach him Japanese by the end of the year. And if he doesn't learn Japanese, they're gonna kill the whole town because it's their responsibility to teach him Japanese. And he's like, that's bullshit. I would rather kill myself than let these people die for me. And they're like, they're gonna die. And he's like, well, I'm gonna kill myself. And they're like, you won't do it. You won't kill yourself. And he says, I'm gonna kill myself. And he tries to commit seppuku there on the floor in front of Yabu and Omi. And then he like gets pretty close, knife to his heart, and then Omi like puts his hand up in front and stops the blade. And they kind of respect him more for that. Then he fucks Mariko at the end, which is dope. So
Yeah, yeah, good.
So that's book one.
yeah, it's a good, really, it's a good 200 pages for him. He like saves the big guy, gets swords, gets a bunch of respect, and then fucks the girl that he's been like lusting after for like 300 pages. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So good for Blackthorn.
What I don't like about the book is that this guy kind of just falls into clout all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, it seems like he can do no wrong and just kind of stumbles into swag.
He gets lucky a lot. He gets really, really
He gets
lucky.
very lucky
Yeah.
a lot. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
But is it luck or is it skill? Like, let's like with the part where he's creating a distraction for Toranaga. Like he specifically remembers that people are not held accountable in Japan if they're drunk, or if they're possessed by demons. And this was like a snap second decision because they're about to open the palanquin and they're about to expose him. And he's like, what can I do? So yeah, maybe it's you can argue it's luck, but like I think you're probably going to see that in any book, right? But it's also his acumen, his skill, and his knowledge. And he's like, okay, I'm going to act crazy right now, right this second, to take everybody's attention off of this, and I know that I will also not die for this.
Right.
And right there, he saves, Toranaga's life, which matters. But then again on the ships, he does the same thing, and he's like using his skill and acumen and ability to, fight off Rodriguez and also get past the barricade of, fishermen vessels.
Yeah, he Tokyo drifted the boat to get him out of there.
That's fair. He is a cool, skilled guy. Okay, let's move on to book 2, because that book 2 seems a little bit more exciting.
Yeah, I like book 2. Book 2's been really good so far.
So we got, what page did you get to, Ishan?
I got to like 210. So it's right before they go to Manitou Springs.
Did you read the tea ceremony or not yet?
No.
Okay. So Bluntaro and everybody, they're all going to Manitou Springs.
Bluntaro.
Bluntaro
and Smokey Co are going to Manitou Springs. Okay. I'm trying to think of all that's happened in this book, but
yeah, there's a lot.
So they escape, and then they go to the village.
Yes,
they go back on Bluntaro.
Yeah, basically. So book 2 starts. He wakes up after he and Mariko fuck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, they were already there.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Oh, that wasn't me, dude.
Yeah.
That was a maid."
We actually didn't fuck. No.
We actually put perfume on Fujiko, who is his actual legal consort, to trick you and make you happy.
Trust me.
That's and then she's like, yeah, that's what happened. Like, I wasn't there. And she's like actually questioning him. He's like, did you see me?
She's like,
did you notice me?
I would have liked to, but I couldn't have done that.
Yeah. So. There was heavy implication, but she said that a lot at the start. I don't know when the truth is revealed.
It's like page 100 or something like that. She's like,
okay, yeah.
Yeah, we fucked.
Yeah,
we fucked.
So yes, it actually and it's cute, and then they start talking in Latin whenever they want to talk, like when they want to be lovey-dovey, and it's very cute because other people, like sparing few, know Portuguese, but pretty much nobody else knows Latin. So that's kind of like a way that they can communicate and actually talk about all this stuff without people finding out.
Yeah.
And then has the earthquake happened?
Yeah. Earthquake happens like
we have to talk about how Bluntaro wants to go smoke at Blackthorn's crib.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that was.
How do we talk about that? This is a cool part. So he like gets his own house.
Yeah.
And he's got like a wife, and she's like, whatever. Like, I'll just hang out with him until I get to kill myself 6 months later. And it's like kind of cool. They get drunk all the time and they're chilling, and then Mariko's husband comes in and is like, "Oh yeah, can I come hang out and stay with you?" And then she's like, "Okay, Blackthorn, you're honor bound to say yes." And so he says yes. And this guy's like a fucking freakazoid.
Yeah.
I'm imagining he's
autistic.
He looks like Mulan's friend, like the one with the beard who's all like, you know?
The short guy?
Short guy.
Squat, yeah.
Yeah. And I think Mariko looks like Mulan. That's like what I'm imagining in my head.
I think of Toranaga as like the pictures of the wise Chinese, like wise posting. Yeah, that's how I've been thinking about him like the whole time.
There's a picture of Toranaga on the front of the book.
I think that Well, maybe that is Toranaga.
It could be Toranaga or it could
I
be
thought
Yabu.
that one's Omi. I was thinking the second one is Omi.
Omi's no, dude. Omi's
No, this is
21.
not Omi. Yeah, this is way too old to be
That's
Omi.
not Omi. That's not
It-
Omi son.
No, okay,
Yeah.
no. So that's book one. Book one.
Book 2 is Blackthorn.
Book two
That's
is
Blackthorn.
Omi, bro, because he's not
Book 2 is
blonde.
Blackthorn.
He's not blonde.
He's got blue eyes though.
That's from the show. He's
From the show, so it's
Oh,
not.
is he black haired in the show?
I don't know.
yeah. No, I saw a trailer for the
that's
show on
Blackthorn.
YouTube.
Okay, well, my bad. I thought it was Omi because it was black hair.
Siggy, homie.
Yeah, he's not. It's not like black hair, but he's like brown.
Be a good guy for Omi.
It's definitely black.
Bro.
Good bro for Omi.
Oh, okay. So then they get really drunk,
Mhm.
and Buntaro's like, "Oh yeah, I shoot bows, by the way,"
Mhm.
and Blackthorn's like, "Okay,
I'd
no
love-
balls."
Yeah, I'd love you to shoot a bow right now.
And so then he whips it out, and I'm talking about this because this is my dad's
Balls.
like favorite scene.
Yeah.
He just goes and shoots shoots 4 arrows into the post. And then I'm like, okay, these guys are probably gonna fight.
Well, hold on. He shoots 4 arrows into the post that is like what 100 meters outside through the shojis that he cannot see,
Yeah.
and there is only 1 arrow hole in the shoji.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
They
is
all go through it.
It's all at Blackthorn's house. Yeah.
Yeah, this is literally while they're drinking sake, and Buntaro is fucked
And
up.
he did
Like
it while
he's
he was sitting down. Like he was sitting
Yeah.
down and just got his bow. Poof, poof,
Yeah.
poof, poof.
didn't stand up. Was already he was sauced,
Mhm.
and he just pulls that out of his ass.
Yeah.
That was
badass,
cool.
Badass moment. And then he
Cool.
beats the fuck out of Mariko
Yeah.
that night or the next morning, and Blackthorn
Well-
almost wants to kill him. I guess it was the
Yeah.
next morning.
Yeah, it was yeah, and then he goes out into the courtyard
Yeah, he's
and
got his
basically
pistols ready, and he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. But then he goes out there, and Buntaro's like got his bow on the ground, and he's like bowing, like in the dirt.
Yeah.
Blackthorn chills, and it's like, all right, I forgive you. Bows.
But he-
deeply
Yeah.
low.
That was a cool testosterone show. I like that.
Yeah. that's
Battle
nuts.
of the wits.
yeah, that was pretty sick.
So then he's like, "Oh, I want to make chicken," and so they get him a chicken, and
Pheasant, yeah.
oh yeah, whatever. And then what happens after that? The earthquake.
Everybody's disgusted at the pheasant. I don't know. I don't know when this happens, but everybody's disgusted at the pheasant.
Yeah.
And then
They don't really eat meat like that.
no, they don't eat meat at all. I think only the Edda, the like basically untouchables eat meat,
Everybody else is fish,
and even
rice,
deal with meat.
veggies.
Yeah.
So
Fish
Christian, when you were out there, was it still like pretty like pescatarian or no?
No, because they really like they have like Kobe beef and stuff like that. It's definitely not as popular, but like it's very easily accessible. And they do skewers too, like basically charcoal grilled skewers, and that will be like chicken, various parts of chicken, beef, rarely pork. Not like really just not a lot of pork in Japan. They'll eat horse, and chicken. Yeah, so they'll eat meat nowadays.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty common. You're just taking notes. Nice.
Strong ship.
So everybody's disgusted by this pheasant because
Yeah.
he's also hanging it up and like letting its juices pour out, and like he gave an order to tell like nobody can touch the pheasant but me. And I don't know how far you guys got with the whole pheasant situation.
Yeah, so basically it's his household. And under Japanese law, if whatever he says in his household is like
It's an
that's
order.
how it is. That is the law, and if you break the law, it's instant death. That's just how it is in Japan. Like if you break a law, you're going to be killed. And
There's no other punishments.
so he leaves the pheasant out, and like Christian was saying, he's basically letting it like cure in the sun. I can't think of another way to say it. But he says nobody should touch this thing because I'm gonna let it sit for a week, and then I'm gonna cook it, and it's gonna be so fucking delicious. And so they're like, all right, whatever. But then he kind of just forgets about it, and we don't really hear about it for a while. And then it's the part that Ishan's talking about where he goes and meets with Toranaga. He's been helping Omi and Yabu and Toranaga's son Naga train the musket regiment. So they took all of those guns and shot and gunpowder off of Blackthorn's ship from the first book, the Erasmus, and they've now given it to a few hundred samurai. And
It's
they've
like
been
a
training
500
person.
person.
I think that's right,
Yeah.
500. They've been training in the mountains, and they're just basically saying that this is like an ace in the sleeve, that if we pull up on somebody with 500 fucking musket samurai, they're going to destroy people. But probably only once or twice, because then they're going to figure out how to counter it. But it's like almost guaranteed one victory. So they've been training that shit. But he goes and meets with Toranaga up in the mountains, and they're kind of talking about that. They're talking some other shit. And then a giant fucking earthquake hits and starts like rending the earth around them. And Toranaga almost falls in, and then Blackthorn saves him. And then Mariko starts to fall in, and then Blackthorn tries to save her, but then Toranaga has to save both of them. And
That was funny.
That was pretty nuts. Toranaga.
It was very comical.
Yeah. Toranaga loses both of his swords in one of the mud piles that he got like dropped into, and then Blackthorn gives him his shitty swords that he had, and Toranaga was like, "Thank you, bro. I will accept these." And everybody's like, "That was like a huge honor. Like that was huge for him to do that." And then like a bunch of other people in the village died and shit, and they all got fucked up. But he basically comes back from that, I think, and then I might have my timeline a little fucked up here, but his house got kind of fucked up, and then they're also
His house got caught fire.
Yeah, and then like what's her name?
Fujiko
got burned up pretty bad. Her legs were fucked up.
Yeah.
Then
R.I.P.
They were basically saying, yeah, the pheasant is gone. The old gardener he had to move it and bury it, and then we killed him because he broke your law. But it was disturbing everybody's peace. And he's like, "What the fuck? Why did you do that? You could have just asked me, and I would have moved it." And they're like, "No, it smelled horrible. It was disturbing everybody else." And we talked about it for a while. We had like a few guys like volunteer to do it. There was one little like young cook who was like, "My life is worthless. Like, let me just go bury this and try and be reborn samurai, basically." Let me try again.
He really wanted that.
Yeah.
But then old Gardner was like, "Nah, my back fucking hurts. Everything sucks. I can't work that good anymore. I'll bury it. You guys can just kill me." And so he buries it, saves everybody basically, and then everybody's like so clapped out about it. They like get like Toranaga or like his personal guards or something like that to kill the old Gardner, and he's just like, "Thank you, thank you." Like what a high honor it was to be killed by somebody so high ranking like that. And he just went out kind of like a beast, which is cool. But Blackthorn was pretty torn up by that. Anybody dying, he hates that.
Yeah, but that was also a big moment for Blackthorn because, like, I mean, the whole second book is really a transition of Blackthorn becoming Japanese.
Yeah.
But in this moment, he's like, I cannot blame these people for this occurrence and this discretion because at the end of the day, it was my order that brought this on him. And that's like him kind of assimilating to the Japanese mindset or part of it. You know, it's part of his journey of becoming more Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
So he actually starts to feel like shame and dishonor. And like there was one point where he's like, how can I live with this shame? And, you know, so you see the similar lines of thinking between how Blackthorn is starting to think, like actually think and not just like present versus how, like you'll see the parallels between how he thinks and how the Japanese think when you're getting like in exposés or internal monologues for like Toranaga or Omi or Yabu or anybody like that. So I thought that was cool.
Study abroad is working.
Yeah. He's gonna come back and never stop talking about it.
He's like, dude, I went to Japan. It was pretty sick. So now we get to the fun part, where he saves Toranaga from the earthquake, and Toranaga's like, get him the most expensive prostitute in the land. You know, put him in the pleasure house. Like, this guy is my homie for life now. Like they're officially homies. And he's like, "Get my man laid." He tells Marco, and Marco's like, "Sounds
Thumbs
good."
up.
And then she goes to the pleasure house, and so we're introduced to the mama-san who like runs the pleasure house, and Omi's girlfriend, who's like the most famous prostitute of the area.
Yeah. So, quick pause. Toranaga specifically requests that Kiku, Omi-san's like girlfriend or lover, basically, is the one that is paired up with Blackthorn because he's also looking to buy Kiku's contract.
Do you think he's buying it for Omi or for himself?
I couldn't tell.
I can't answer that
I
because
thought it was for Omi. I thought it was for Homie.
Buy a good Kiku for homie for Omi.
he's
Yeah, good.
obtaining the contract and like wants to get her. I don't at this point in the book you don't know the motivations for or why it's like hinted that it's for Omi. But yeah, so they go there and Mariko and Gyoka, the mama-san, they talk, right? Have you gotten that far, Ishan? Where they're chatting?
Yeah.
Totally.
They're haggling over like the price for Kiku for one night for Blackthorn, but then also the contract. But Mariko's very like hush hush about who the night is for, because if she says it's for Blackthorn, they're gonna be like, ew, he's an alien, like we don't want him. So then she gets like a price or whatever. And then this was freaking nuts. I really like this part where it's just Mariko and it's Blackthorn, and Mariko's like, "Hey, can I chill with you in the whorehouse? Because like I've never been." And he's like, "Yeah, sure. I love you." And she's like, "Yeah, I love you too." And so they go in, and there's Kiku, and she's like 18, by the way. And so
Yeah.
this is weird. And she is like, "Okay, I guess it is Blackthorn. It's not some random Japanese person." So she's kind of freaked out, and she's like, "Mariko, what do I do?" And Mariko's like, "Don't talk about sex unless it's in a joking manner, because he's really shy." And she's like, "Okay." And then she sings a little and she dances a little, and then um she can the heat is palpable, man. The heat is palpable between Mariko and Blackthorn, and they're just like eyeing each other. They're like, "Let's fucking like And Kiku's noticing all this, and she's like, "Mariko, do you want me to like, leave you guys alone?" And Marco's like, "No, what are you talking about?" And then she brings out a bunch of dildos and anal beads and cock rings.
Yep.
That was funny.
And that's like what really got everybody hot and heavy was that moment when they're all bringing out all the sex toys and talking about them and how they're used. And that was, it was a really entertaining chapter.
And then Blackthorn's like, "Oh wow, you guys are so clean here and progressive." And then this was so funny because he was thinking about his wife, and he was like, "Oh yeah, my wife showers once a month, and her teeth are missing, and her hair is gray, and she's like 29 years old." I was like, "Damn, that sucks."
Yeah, it's like everything's so clean here, but my home sucks. We got dirt floors. My kids are dirty. My wife is dirty. My house is dirty. My wife's friend is dirty. Everything sucks, and my whole life sucked. Everything's cool here, and he gets so like fucking sad that Europe is so unclean. He completely ruins the whole night.
Yeah,
everybody's just like, "Damn, bro, that sucks." He scared the hoes.
He scared
him so bad.
Yeah, the Mariko leaves, and then he doesn't fuck, right? He just kind of sleeps.
He does eventually. Yeah,
he
Mariko
fucks.
leaves, and then they go to sleep. Basically, Kiku's like, "Do you still wanna?" And he's like, "No, let's go to sleep." But then it says later that night he pulled out the cock ring, and they
cool.
got after it.
Because it's also it's a Japanese thing where like if you don't do it, like it's dishonor to the woman. So he has to do it. Like he has to. It's not a question of like yes or no. It's like if he doesn't, then he is like beseeching this woman and like staining her name and her legacy. which is
Just-
everything.
Yeah.
It sounded like it was fun though.
Yeah,
And then,
yeah, and Blackthorn loved it. You know, he's like, I adore Kiku, but I'm in love with Mariko.
Yeah. Then the morning
Yeah.
after, he needed to leave. Like they're basically all. Toranaga was hearing that his half brother. What the fuck is that guy's name?
See, I don't know, and I don't care. Like that shit is.
Yakina or whatever. Yaka something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Zaka something. Zaki.
Zatakai.
Zatakai. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Zataki something.
What's going on with that?
Hockey.
Zataki is another daimyo, and he
Okay.
has some lands to the west of them, like northwest or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's the half brother of Toranaga. They have the same mom, I think.
Mhm.
And Toranaga's plan basically was here. So all the political shit. Toranaga was on the Council of Regents, which was 4 guys who were appointed by the old Taiko.
5.
5? Okay, you're right.
5.
5 guys who were appointed by the old Taiko to basically hold power in the land until Yaemon, his son, was old enough to take power and be the Shogun, or the Taiko again. And so Toranaga was on this council, but he started getting fucked with because he was like one of the ones that isn't Christian, and he wasn't given into it, and they all thought that he wanted to be Shogun for some reason, even though Toranaga says he only wants to protect Yaemon and ensure that he becomes a Taiko again. But he's always getting fucked with, and so to escape in book 1, he was basically resigning from the council so that they couldn't make him commit seppuku, because if they impeached him, he would have had to kill himself. But because he resigned, they weren't able to like impeach him and make him kill himself. It was like some weird little thing he could get through. So then they elected this other guy who was basically Toranaga's puppet, and they elected him, and they're like, okay, we're gonna fucking make you kill yourself now. But then Toranaga's puppet also resigned, and then so that was like just buying him time. But then, what the fuck's the guy's Zataki?
Zataki.
He's not being elected to the Council of Elders, but he got a writ from the other 4 guys, or that Ishido was leading this whole charge, and they were all saying like, we want Toranaga to come to Osaka and submit to our will. And he was Toranaga was basically hoping that he could convince Zataki to be on his side, and that he could, if he was able to fuck with everybody so much that Ishido would start like questioning everybody else's loyalty and then start like beating people up that weren't Toranaga, he might be able to survive. But then as he's going over to Zataki's place to basically try and ask him for help, I think we're starting to realize now that Zataki is not on his side.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of where I left off. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else. Oh yeah, so the morning after Blackthorn goes to the whorehouse, he fucks Omi's girlfriend, and then he like calls him up and is like, "Come ride with me, dude." And then he's like taunting this guy, like they're basically having a battle of wits, like total Pokemon anime moment. They're just like on either side. And then he's like, "Oh yeah, your girlfriend was great last night," or something like that, like really beautiful, and let me know next time. Like I had no idea that you guys were so tight. And he's like, "Shut the fuck up, man." And then I thought that was really funny.
Yeah, he was poking the bear.
I couldn't
And
tell if he was like actually, if he was trying to be mean, or if he was actually being like, I thought he was trying to squash it, where it was like, I didn't ask for this. I didn't know she was your girl. Like I just got told like I was put up to this. Is what I
think
thought
he
it
was taunting. I think he was taunting him. I think he was like, "You pissed on me, motherfucker!" Like,
true.
And I think he's like trying to measure up, see where he stacks up against these guys.
He does want to be friends with Omi now, which is weird.
I don't think he
just
does.
realizes he'd be a better ally.
He's in this half like yoga girl, karma is real estate. He's like half Buddhist now. So
Yeah,
I think he's struggling. But I don't know. We'll see. I guess maybe you guys know the answer, but
Not really. I'm not. I'm maybe 50 pages ahead of you.
okay.
I'm only on page like 290.
Here's
They
what
there was a message. I won't spoil what's in the message if you haven't received it, but somebody received a message that gave a lot of information on what was going on in the Council of Regents. Did you read that message?
I don't think so.
Okay, then I won't say anything about it.
No.
Because that's a big piece. It's a big piece. Gives you a lot of
Okay.
information about everything.
I think
I think it's pretty soon after, like where you guys are.
there's like there's this weird like love triangle between Omi and Yabu and Toranaga, where Toranaga doesn't like Yabu and Omi doesn't like Yabu, and Yabu likes Omi, but he doesn't like Toranaga, and Omi doesn't like Yabu, but he likes Toranaga. So I think one of them's gonna die. I don't know how it's gonna go, but it's pretty cool. That's a cool part.
I like Toranaga now.
I think he's cool. I think the whole hawking thing was cool, where he like has a hawk and he's like, oh, everybody's a hawk, and I just have to figure out like what meat they like,
Yeah, how to use them.
or how to use them, and the fact that it started with him like doing the like Irish jig that Blackthorn taught him, which I was like, oh, that's weird. But then you see them kind of become friends, and I think it's just because he wants to be friends with Blackthorn. It's like not out of like, oh, I owe this guy anything. It's just like he thinks he's cool. So that's cool. I think those two are my favorite characters for sure.
Toranaga is definitely
Goat.
sick. Like he's a beast. I love
Yeah,
Toranaga.
he's goated.
I'm saying that after reading, more pages too, but like even up to that point, like he's a pretty sick guy. But I don't think that Toranaga wants to be friends with Blackthorn in the traditional sense of I like this person, I want to be friends with him. I think they're developing a friendship, but I don't think that's his motivation at really any point, really. I think he wants the knowledge and he wants the power that Blackthorn brings. And I still think that's his primary motivation throughout most, like up to at least page 200 or something.
He just keeps giving him shit. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah,
I don't
raise
know.
salary.
You're right. Yeah, just gets raise after raise. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah, he's also got to do that to protect him from other people because the Portuguese want to kill him. Yabu wants to kill him. Like everybody wants him dead. He almost got assassinated. Like so he has to be giving him all this stuff to also protect him.
Mhm.
So it's it's this dichotomy. But yeah, I like Toranaga a lot.
Yeah.
And he just gets better. He just gets better over the next
cool.
Chill,
Yeah,
chill,
I like that.
chill,
He's just- oh, it's-
chill.
Dude, I wish you guys read up to where I am. Like there's a lot that
Next
goes
week.
Yeah.
on.
Christian,
Talk
you're
about next
probably
week.
at like the close to the climax, or like about
Dude,
there.
I'm always climaxing.
You're on. Oh,
No, I
all right.
think I don't know. I'm probably things are heating up where I'm at.
Okay. Heating up, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think
I just started stroking.
I'm happy I got on the pod because I was like, this book is fucking long.
Yeah.
It is
I think
long.
it's just been this story only for so long, and so but after talking to you guys, I'm excited again. It'll be cool to read.
You guys both have that opinion like it's boring or something like that. I haven't felt bored with this book a single time. There's never been like, man, I wish this fuck would get on. I'm like, I've been in.
No, I
This book's
told you what
sweet.
it's like. It's like when you're binge watching a really good show.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
when you're 3 seasons in and you've just been watching the show for 5 days, you're just like, ugh, like this is cool, but I don't care. That's what it's like. It's not that the book is bad at all. It's just like, it's all I've been reading.
Sure.
Yeah,
So,
it's like there was a lot of buildup, and in any book, the buildup is sometimes not as interesting. But then once like the buildup is more done and like characters are built and relationships are kind of fleshed out, like it starts to get a lot more engaging and interesting. Like I didn't dislike the first book or anything like that. There were a bunch of really interesting points in there, and all the stuff about Japanese culture and all that definitely kept me engaged throughout. So it's not bad, but like it slows down at some points.
Yeah.
This is not an action heavy book, and I think we all probably expected a little more action in this book.
Yeah, for sure.
But so far, this book has been pretty action light. It's really been a story about Japanese culture and the influence of Europe on Japan, and specifically more about the story of Toranaga and Blackthorn.
Politics, etc.
Yeah, it's been very political and very personal too. It's been the stories of like what's going on in people's heads and their feelings and their relationships and all this, and it hasn't been like massive 100,000 samurai battles or anything like that.
Yet.
Yeah, which I don't think is bad. Still very interesting. I think I don't know. I feel like Yabu has changed a lot between book 1 and 2.
I think he's still a dumbass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a jerk.
I thought he was less of a dumbass in book 1, and then in book 2, it's really being shown to me that he is a dumbass.
Yeah, he's dumber than shit.
He is.
He just
really
never
dumb.
picked. He never really picked a side. He's like trying to been straddling the fence between Ishido and Toranaga so much. And Toranaga sees that. He's like, "You gotta pick soon, dude. You're gonna die." Yeah, Yabu's a dumbass. I don't know. Omi's pretty smart. I don't really mind him, I guess.
Homie.
Toranaga's son is a dumbass.
Mhm.
Mariko's goated.
Mariko is goated.
The Christian people still, they're all weird. The Portuguese stuff there hasn't been anybody who's really cool. Rodriguez is cool.
Rodriguez is cool.
But yeah, they're starting to come back in this section right now that we're on. The fucking translator guy's back. I want him to die. I want somebody to kill him.
Alvito.
Oh,
Yeah,
he comes back.
Alvito should die.
Yeah, libido.
Libido.
Yeah, Velveeta should be killed.
Father Velveeta.
Yeah, dude sucks.
I was reading like on Wikipedia about like the Portuguese monopoly or whatever, but in like the trade in Japan during this time, and it was all pretty historically accurate. I can't remember the exact time frame now, but I want to say it was like 1610 to 1690 or something like that. But the Portuguese were the first like foreign people to like land in Japan and start trading shit. And then there was that blockade between China and Japan for silver trade, because I think Japan kept trying to invade China, and then they were just like, get the fuck away from us. But then the Portuguese found a way to trade shit and get Chinese silver and then trade that.
Well, they
would
wouldn't
silver and trade it for the high dollar silks.
Yeah, it was the silks. It was the silk trade, and the Portuguese would just facilitate that trade because the Chinese did not want to trade directly with Japan.
Yeah.
So they'd trade with the Portuguese, and then the Portuguese would go trade with Japan, but the Chinese just did not want to trade with people who kept invading them.
Yeah, and the black ship and shit, that was all real. Like, they would do a giant fucking yearly ship with millions of whatever fucking...
That sounds really
or
dumb.
Whatever. It's crazy. If you lose that thing, that would be horrible.
Yeah, imagine just crashing that.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, shit, dude.
Didn't they talked about that in the book? Like, there was one year that it got sunk or something like that.
I think so. They scuttled it or something.
Yeah, it's cool. They talk about Goa. So Goa's a city in India.
Yeah, and that's
like the huge hub for trade, and that's what they were talking about. I was in the Wikipedia article was talking about it. And isn't Goa still like a huge fucking? It's got like a huge GDP to this day, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's still one of the richest cities in India. I think we read this article together.
It's fucking crazy.
Like Goa, even to this day, like you can see the effects of it being a go-between.
That's insane. That's pretty damn cool. But I like that slight historical fiction with some cool accuracies. I did like that.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's cool to learn about it.
Yep, it's cooler than Blood Meridian for sure.
We're gonna have to say that every single podcast.
Dude, Blood Meridian was a fucking rough book.
Yeah, it was horrid.
All right, I'm happy. I'm happy calling it. I don't know if we should do predictions because we're just all in different places.
Yeah.
You guys can do predictions.
My prediction just isn't. I don't think Blackthorn's gonna be Percy Jackson anymore. I've lost my my hope for that. I don't think he's gonna get cool samurai training and kill a bunch of people and become the Shogun.
I think Blackthorn's gonna die in Japan. I don't think he's ever going home.
I agree.
And
I
I
agree with
think I think
He's gonna settle down with Mariko. Yeah, Bluntaro's gonna die and he's gonna marry.
Bluntaro.
He's
So
gonna marry
he's got
Smoky
to
Joe.
kill Omi and he's got to kill Bluntaro
Yeah.
for sure. Those are two people he's got to throw down at the hoedown.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to show him a white man's walk.
Mm.
So it's gonna be high noon pretty soon. He'll whip out his pistols and just.
I think so too.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he's going home.
I think Mariko will die.
Damn, that would make me sad.
I'm throwing a bunch of them out there. I think Mariko might die, like a Jon Snow thing, and I think
yeah,
huh?
the Mariko one is interesting because like she wants to kill herself, and the only reason that she doesn't is because her husband has not allowed her to. So,
No, she does it to spite him too. She does it to like. She intentionally doesn't have sex with him, and intentionally like doesn't die, or maybe yeah, her husband won't let her kill herself.
She
So
asked-
Toranaga.
she asks Buntaro every year.
oh yeah,
No,
sure.
maybe that was Fujiko. I'm pretty sure
No,
Mariko.
no.
it's Mariko.
She
Yeah,
asked him
'cause
to-
she's this daughter of the trader guy.
Yeah. So yeah, she is asking every year to die, and yeah, she also doesn't sleep with her husband because she refuses to, and she says if you ever try to, you will get one more time, and then I will kill myself, whether you let me or not.
Yep.
Yeah.
She likes her some white boy though.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying, dude. It's a cool trope. It's
I like their story. I like the whole Mariko and Blackthorn development and
Yeah.
story. I think it's cute. I like both of them. And
that's exactly how it goes in Japan too. Like if you guys go there, that's exactly how it'll happen. So, maybe we should go out there.
You speak from experience?
No, I'm just saying. We got Last Samurai. We got this book. We have a lot of fiction.
A lot of real experience, real history.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's one thing I have to live vicariously through is the white savior of these cool ass novels. So it's it's my favorite trope right now. We were watching this movie called fuck. It's not The Last Crusade. It's got Orlando Bloom.
Bad Boys
It's
too.
directed by Ridley Scott. Kingdom of Heaven. It's about the Crusades. It's basically just 2004. Orlando Bloom goes to Jerusalem and just like shows them business, like
Is
shows
that
them
the
what a
one
white.
that has like the leper king in it, the guy in the mask?
Yeah, it's got the leopard. Yeah, it's fucking cool. He's just like, yeah, whatever. Like he's like an expert swordsman and just naturally. I thought that was dope. It's a really good trope in these movies and stories that I like. Just the Percy Jackson shows up and is like, what? I guess, okay. And then he's just goated.
You guys are fucking weird. I'm going to kill everyone.
That was a funny comment when Blackthorn's making the pheasant and he's like, well, you guys eat weird ass shit too. Like I don't make a face every time you give me squids and eyeballs and all this bullshit.
Mhm.
He made the soup and
Yeah,
then
he made,
everyone
like,
was like,
nice
"Ugh."
chicken
And then he
soup.
threw it away.
Yeah.
He threw the soup away because they were all weirded out.
He was so embarrassed by his chicken noodle soup, he had to throw it out because they were like,
He went to the woods and he cried. Remember that?
yeah, he was so pissed he cried. I guess I would too. I'm like, you haven't had actual meat in months and months and months and months, and you finally get the chance to do it, and then everybody's like, "You're so gross."
Bro,
I would be
gross.
like, "Fuck!" Poor guy.
Poor guy.
But I'm excited. I want to talk about it next week.
Yeah, poor Anaga.
So
Yeah, can you guys read quickly so I can continue reading?
I'll try.
Really
I'll try and
want
read.
that.
It's a nice day out. I might go sit on the porch, do some reading.
Yeah, do it, dude. Like
How's the
I
porch,
read
John?
so much because it's so good.
Okay, good. How's the pool, Sean? I might do that too.
We didn't go yet. We Melly wanted me to do the podcast first, then we're gonna go.
Oh, nice. Thank you, Mel.
Yeah. She was like, just get that done.
Yeah.
I'm glad that that's like an understandable. Go do your podcast and then we can go to the pool.
Go do your homework and then we can have fun.
Go to your podcast at 2 people. It's fun.
Okay, it's okay.
I'm glad we do it. I wanted to do something like this so bad.
Yeah, it's fun.
This is fun.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good catch up. It was a good. I like that we plot all our viewers and listeners up. Manscaped. Use our code BetterHelp. MeUndies. NordVPN.
Mac
ExpressVPN. Yep.
Okay. I got to
Use our-
bounce.
Use my code. Okay.
Okay.
Lucy's
Right,
Lucy's breakers.
Yeah, Lucy.
All right. See you, Sean.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.